Fellas, what is going on today, fellas? So today's video, it's kind of long awaited. I've been putting this off for a little bit, but we are going to be doing a domination strategy guide. Okay, so basically I'm going to teach you guys how to beat domination for those of you who are struggling. And as you can see here, I did complete all three. I do have George Mikan. I've had him for a while now, and now it's time for me to make the strategy video for you guys that are struggling. Okay, so we're going to go through current domination, we're gonna go through historic domination, we're gonna go through all-time domination, and I'm gonna show you even some gameplay tactics that you guys can use to help you out with these games. All right, so obviously we're gonna start off with current domination. All right, and I did make a video talking about the best players for you to pick up to help you with domination. If you didn't see that, I'll have a card on the screen in the top right corner for you to press so you can check that video out. You may want to check that video out, then come back to this one, because it can really help you to have those kind of players. All right, but for the purposes of this video, we are going to throw in a couple players that I was using during my current domination run. So because I want to make it realistic, right? And I want to make my squad similar to the kind of squads that you guys are going to be using when you do this domination, because I mean, it's easy to just for me to say, oh, I mean, you can complete current domination easily with the kind of squad that I have, but really I just want to make it fair because my squad is pretty good and it has helped me a ton. So I just want to make it like realistic for you guys. So I'm just throwing some players here, some good players, then some not so good players, and we're gonna go with that. All right, we're gonna throw Ennis Cantor, and I'm not gonna play the full game out, but I am gonna show you just little portions here and there and give you tips along the way. All right, guys, so this is the lineup that we got here. Let me switch these two guys. Whoa. Let me switch these two guys. So we're running Nick Van Exel, Klay Thompson, Richard Jefferson, Bill Laimbeer, Ennis Cantor, De'Aaron Fox, Deshaun Stevenson. We got Ben Simmons, Zion Williamson, and then Joel Embiid. That's the squad we're gonna run into this current domination game with. Now, I am using Nick Van Exel, who you don't get until after you complete current domination, but there's only one reason that I'm really running this card, and I'll explain to you that when the game starts. And you can get a similar player like Nick Van Exel without even having to complete current domination. All right, and yeah, so that and that kind of player can help you, and there's only one reason I'm using this card. So it's not, don't think, oh, because he's using the amethyst that you get from current domination and he's teaching you how to complete it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Don't think like that. Just listen to what I'm going to say in this video and you should be good to go. Let's get into the game, and let's start off with I don't know, we can start off with any team. All these games are on Hall of Fame. I'm just gonna go into any random one. Why not do the hardest one, right? Why not do the hardest one, which should be this one? We can go into the hardest game where you need to earn 675 MT. Keep this in mind. You need to look at the MT that you need, and you need, in these last games, you need 675. Now, throughout the regular domination, you only need 625. But here in the last three games, you're gonna need 600. Actually, the last game you'll need 675, but the ones prior to this, you only need 625, and that's all for all the games in current dom. So, and I'll tell you exactly what you got to do. But let's get into the game, man. All right, guys, so we just tipped off the ball here. Now, what you guys need to understand about domination, current domination, is that they definitely made it harder this year than last year, and the emphasis should be placed upon having players who can rim run and having good defenders. So that's the reason why I'm using Nick Van Exel, because as you can see right here, he's very fast, and I did just get blocked right there, but that doesn't happen every time. He's very fast, and he can just blow by almost anyone. He has 91 speed with ball, and you want to get players like that. So my bench player is De'Aaron Fox. He has 87 speed with ball, and I spoke about him in the video that I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this one. So basically, if you happen to let the opposing team score, just run and rim run like that. And the thing is with Nick Van Exel, he can dunk. So sometimes you'll get a good dunk, sometimes you'll do a layup and get blocked because he is only like 6'1", 6'2". But you don't need Nick Van Exel, because obviously you won't have him if you're still struggling to complete current domination. Get someone like De'Aaron Fox. Like I said, he dunks. If you have enough MT to pick up D-Rose is even better. I didn't want to throw in D-Rose. I have him, but I didn't use him during my current domination run because he was just too expensive and I was too cheap to get him. But guys who can rim run are lifesavers, especially the ones that can dunk. But it's okay if you don't have one that can dunk. Like a guy like Gus Williams will serve you very well because of the 96 speed that he has. So you definitely want to rim run. That is the main thing. If you ever happen to let the opposing team score, just rim run. Try to get yourself a nice dunk or layup. Now, if you happen to not be able to do that and you're in a half-court offense like here, then you want to just run a pick and roll. I have Bill Laimbeer for a reason. because he's a good shooter and he can play defense, but I'm just going to use him for the screen right there, and I'm going to get an easy bucket right there. Abuse the pick and roll if you have to. You're playing against a computer. Don't feel sorry for these dudes, okay? Another thing, obviously, you want to have good defenders. So as you can see, I do have Klay Thompson and Richard Jefferson. Both of them have clamps. Richard Jefferson has silver clamps, I believe, and Klay Thompson, I think they both have silver clamps. Let me actually just verify that here. Klay Thompson, we're going to go to his badges. He has silver clamps. He has defensive leader, heart crusher, lightning reflexes, pick dodger on silver, intimidator on bronze. And then Richard Jefferson, he has all ball pets gold and silver clamps. So really, you just want to make sure you have a guy who has clamps. At least the perimeter defender should have clamps. Not every one of your guys needs to have them, but I would say at least have 2 of your 3 guys on the floor have clamps at least. 3 out of 5 would be even better. There's not really many big men with clamps nowadays, so not much you can do there. And as you can see, I did just get blocked again there. We're gonna pull the 3 with Richard Jefferson, and it's cash on Hall of Fame difficulty. Yeah, so when you get those open 3s, you want to pull those 2. That's why I would definitely recommend picking up a guy like Richard Jefferson if you have the spare MT, or Klay Thompson, because these are 3 and D players, and they're gonna help you out a lot with this. All right, because if you can have somebody when they're open to knock down the shot, obviously that's going to help you out a ton, right? And then have somebody who's going to play defense and get you those fast breaks, because you're going to get a ton of fast breaks. Or once you do get a ton of fast breaks, that's how you end up winning the game, because those fast breaks give you the most amount of points. So that's why you want to score as much as possible in the fast break. When you don't have it, you do the pick and roll like I did right there, and then you should be good to go. So if you can see in the top right corner of the screen, you're going to see MT. Every time I complete an action, you're going to get a certain amount of MT. So different actions give you a different amount of MT. So if I just make a layup, I think it gives you like a +2 for your MT. Now, remember at the beginning, before I started off the game, I showed you the amount of MT that you're going to need throughout the game. You do get a multiplier at the end of the game for the difficulty, so you don't have to necessarily reach that number within the game. You're probably going to get it after the game. So let's say I have a total of 400 MT after this game ends. The multiplier will probably put me over that 675 that I'll need at the end of the game, just because it's a multiplier. That's how it works. De'Aaron Fox, he's fast. The only thing with Chris Paul, he is a good defender. Sometimes when you're going up against a good defender, you're not going to be able to get those blow-bys as much. We just got blocked right there. Feed it in the post. Let me get a nice little, oh no, I'm not, oh yeah, stupid. Baby in the paint, man. You see layup +2, second chance point +4, made shot +2. There's different values for different actions that you do in the game. The most that you can get from an action, I think it's multiple defensive stops. If you happen to stop the opposing team multiple occasions, they're going to give you +12 after a certain amount of times that you stop them. And obviously you want to do that. Now, if you get a fast break, they give you, I think, +2 for a fast break. And then obviously if you make a dunk, it's like +3. Made shot is +2. You know, all that, it begins to add up over time. Accumulatively, man, I can't even talk. And basically, you're going to be getting a lot of MT throughout the game, and you'll reach the quota that you need. All right, so make sure you get those fast breaks. That's why I'm emphasizing having good defenders, having guys who are fast, because having those guys who can finish off the fast break is going to help you a ton. It's even more important than having shooters. Now, if you do want to make sure that you reach the amount of MT that you need throughout the game, you do have to make sure you hit these requirements of shooting 5 threes and shooting 10 free throws. Okay, so by the end of the game, you need to have at least attempted, it doesn't need to go in, attempted 5 threes and attempted 10 free throws. Now, if you happen to go 0 for 5 on threes, you're not going to get any bonus from it anyways, because you didn't make any. But if, let's say I went 3 for 4 from threes, I'm not going to get any bonus on my 3-point shots because I didn't shoot 5 at least. That's how it is. That's how it's always been. As you can see, De'Aaron Fox with that speed, the assist gives me +4, the dunk gives me +3, the fast break gives me +2, the made shot gives me +2, and I'm getting a lot of MT right there because of that. So yeah, like I was saying, you definitely want to make sure you're shooting 5 threes. Even if, let's say you're up by, I don't know, 10 points, maybe just chuck up a nice 3. It doesn't have to be the greatest shot, just to make sure you're getting your 3-point shots. Maybe that's something that you need to do to make sure you hit that quota. If you have already made a 3, make sure you're gonna get your 5 threes. You want to get that bonus that can put you over the edge. That can be the difference between you winning a game or losing a game. Okay. Now the 10 free throws as well. You're gonna need that. You need to shoot 10. You don't need to make. You just need to shoot them. So the more you make, obviously, the higher of a bonus you're going to get, and that is gonna be constant throughout regular domination, historic, and all-time domination. You're gonna need those 10 free throws and those 5 threes. Now for a game like this, you want to focus on the personnel that the other team has. So this game really isn't too hard. I'm up by 9 right now, and I'm kind of just talking to you guys. But basically what you want to do is assess the kind of players that they have. So if I'm guarding Damian Lillard, obviously I want to play tight up on him. A guy like Ben Simmons, I'm not going to play so much up on. The shooters, I'm going to play up on. The guys who can't shoot, I'm not going to play up on, because this is Hall of Fame difficulty. Let's keep it real, man. I may be missing shots. Like, it may be hard for me to make jump shots, but it's going to be hard for them to make jump shots as well. They're not going to be making every single jump shot, right? So you definitely want to sag off the guys who can't shoot. I would say, obviously, Ben Simmons, if he's going to shoot, I don't know what his tendency of a three-point shot is, so he might not even take it, but like, don't play so tight on the guys who can't shoot. But the guys who can shoot, obviously play tight on them. Like, this is a strategy guide. You got to know exactly how to play these dudes. You got to know their play styles and whatnot in order for you to succeed here, right? So definitely play off on the guys who are not shooters and play up on the guys who are. Now, in the game right now, there happens to be a lot of shooters. Everyone can shoot the ball, basically, besides Ben Simmons. So right now, I would be playing up on them very tightly. Let me set a screen right here. I only got 4 seconds. I should be good to go, though. No! I couldn't get it off in time. I did green the layup, though. But anyways, so yeah, once they start to sub in different guys, play a little bit differently. Now, you don't have to adjust your defense and put zone or whatever. That you may not necessarily have to do that, but adjust your play style depending on who is in the game. If the guy's not that great of a shooter, then don't play too tight up on him. And you can check their ratings right here within the game if you just go to the box score and then obviously press R3 on their name, and you can check their attributes, their badges, and see what they're good at and their hot zones and all that. So definitely pay attention to that. Know how good the players are that you're going up against and play them to their strengths. Basically play them depending on what their strengths and weaknesses are. Take advantage of those, and you should be good to go in this game, man. So get your fast breaks. Make sure you're shooting your 5 threes and free throws, and that's really all I can do for you. Have those fast rim runners, and you should be good to go. Now, I'm going to close out of this game. I'm not even going to finish it off because there's no need for me to. And I'm going to go on we're going to talk about historic and all-time. All right, guys, so here we are in historic domination. And as you can see, it is going to get a little bit tougher with the amount of MT that you need. It says you need 775 MT in order to actually get 3 stars. But the thing is, it's on superstar difficulty. Really, it doesn't feel any different, at least to me, from Hall of Fame. It just feels exactly the same, but it is a lower difficulty, so I mean, that's just the way it is. But you are going to need more MT. There is still going to be a multiplier at the end of the game that can propel you to the amount of MT that you need. Really, what you should be aiming for within each game is to try to have like 100 MT per quarter. So by the end of the game, you have like 400 MT accumulated throughout the entire game, and then that multiplier should boost you over and give you the edge that you need to get the 3 stars. All right, but all these games are superstar difficulty. Once you do get to the end, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, it gets very tough. And let me just look at this right here. The last 2 games you're gonna need 800 MT, and the last game entirely of all the dominations, or not all the dominations, of historic domination, you're gonna need 825 MT. Now, it's not too far off from 775 throughout the entire process along the way, but it is kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. And these 3 games, guys, these are gonna be some of the hardest games that you play within domination, because you're going up against a pink diamond squad. As you can see right here, if you press square, you can compare the team, and you're going up against a full pink diamond team, and you're going to be using amethyst, rubies, maybe even some sapphires, you know. So it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough, and these were very tough for me because these guys are great defenders. I mean, just take a look. You're going to be against John Stockton, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Like, they're going to be greening layups on you, like, consistently. This stuff was frustrating. If you guys saw me on stream playing this stuff, it was very, very, very frustrating. The 80s All-Stars wasn't too bad, although they do have a good team. I kind of cooked them. But the last 2, the 90s and the 2000s, made me want to break my controller, man, because it's very tough. Now, the strategy for going into these games is the same thing that you're doing with the other games, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, D Rose definitely saved me in these games. Having Derrick Rose, having somebody who can dunk on everybody, really saved me. So if you have the spare MT, go pick up Derrick Rose. Go pick him up. He's gonna save you. He dunks on everyone. He finishes at the rim and ones all the time. Make sure you're getting your 10 free throws, your 5 threes. And you should be good to go in this game. Make sure you're picking up good defenders. There's plenty of defenders that you guys can pick up, especially now that the new promos have been coming out. I mean, let's just take a look at some defenders that you guys can pick up that I didn't have access to when the game first came out. So we're going to go to premium, and let's take a look at the back-to-back. Isaiah Thomas, he's a great defender. He has, what is it? Let me see. 87 perimeter defense. He does have gold clamps. And he has a 65 driving dunk, which isn't too bad. He's very fast. I would definitely, if you can pick up Isaiah Thomas, he should help you out a ton, although he is kind of expensive. So, but Andre Iguodala, this guy is cheap. He's a Ruby. He can play good defense on those guys, those pink diamonds. 88 perimeter defense. Let's take a look at his badges. Gold Clamps, Chase Down Artist, Pick Dodger, Heart Crusher, Interceptor, Intimidator. Definitely pick up yourself, and he has Bronze Dimer as well. Pick up Andre Iguodala if you're having trouble playing defense on these guys. These guys will really serve you well. Don't play him at the power forward. I mean, it's like 6'5", what, right? 6'6", 6'5", 6'6". Don't play him at the power forward. Play him at the small forward. Have him guard Michael Jordan. No, Michael Jordan won't be playing the small forward. If you're playing Historic Domination, you're going up against those last 3 games. Who are you going to be going up against? Let me see. Let me look back at the roster. You're going to be going up against, what, Larry Bird? LeBron? LeBron never did too much against me. But, he can lock up LeBron. Or if you want to switch him on, or whoever's coming off the bench for this team, Iggy could guard them too. But really, the main threats for me were guarding Kobe. Kobe lit me up, I'm not going to lie. And you're gonna have trouble getting rebounds over Tim Duncan and Shaq. So you make sure you want to have like good rebounders. One guy that I used to use was Rick Smith. He's 7'4". He's not the greatest rebounder, but he is 7'4", so he blocks a lot of shots. Let me take a look at my collection to see exactly what kind of players. I mean, we're gonna go to power forward and center and look at some players that I have that I think can serve you pretty well. Christian Laettner is whack. AC Green was okay. He's from the token market. He's an amethyst. He's 6'9". I played him at the power forward. He was okay. I didn't use him for too long, though. Hot Rod Williams was nice. He's from the token rewards as well. Daniel Marshall, I didn't really use him. Let me see. Let me look at the centers. Let me see. Historic Domination. I was using Bill Laimbeer. I would pick up Bill Laimbeer, 6'11". He can shoot. He has the 85 three-point shot. He has the 87 free throw. He's got the decent interior defense, 88. He can get rebounds, man, and he's a great defender. He also does have silver clamps, so he can kind of guard the perimeter as well. PJ Brown was somebody. He's 7'1". He helped me out a ton too. He has the 95 standing dunk, which is good for him. He has the 93 offensive rebound. So pick up some of these guys. Sam Perkins was good for me too. Let me see who else. Like I said, Rick Smithy. If you have Joel Embiid and the Ben Simmons dynamic duo, this is not supposed to be a player video because I already did make a video like that. If you guys probably already saw that, but I'm just giving you some extra players here that you guys can pick up for Historic Domination. And if you're on Historic Domination at this point, you probably have a decent amount of MT. All right. So we spoke about Historic. I know I didn't go into the gameplay. For the most part, you want to play the games the same way that you saw me playing it in the first game within the current Domination. You want to play them the exact same way, but you want to upgrade your players as you go, because the players that you're using in current Domination, they're not going to be good enough to beat the players that you're going to use in Historic. So you're going to upgrade them. So maybe you're using De'Aaron Fox and De'Aaron Fox and like Gus Williams in current. You can keep Gus Williams, drop off De'Aaron Fox and upgrade him to a guy like D Rose or Jason Kidd, or someone like that. But now we're on all-time Domination. You're going to need to upgrade your players even further because this gets even harder. Now you're playing against all-time teams where every team has diamonds, pink diamonds, and all kinds of stuff. Now, even like the bad teams, they're pretty good. And the team that gave me the most trouble was probably the Utah Jazz. The very first game, I had to play this team like 6 times, bro, because John Stockton was locking D Rose. I had D Rose. He didn't do nothing that game, bro. He was looking like Paul George last night, bro. Or yeah, well, the damn recording this is the day that the Clippers got dropped off. He looked like Paul George last night getting dropped off, man. Like John Stockton was locking my D Rose up. But even if he is locking me up, I was able to beat this team because they don't really have too many great guys. I mean, Pete Maravich was lighting me up, but if you have a good shooting guard or if you have a good small forward, you can kind of kill Adrian Dantley and Pete Maravich. So definitely take advantage of the other positions if one position is locking you up. But the all-time Domination is very hard. So as you can see, you're going to need 900 MT to get 3 stars throughout each game. And once you get to the end, it's going to cost you even more because they're asking for, let me see. My stuff is frozen, bro. My stuff is bugging out right now. 975 for the last 2, and then for the last game you're gonna need 1025 MT for that last game. So it's definitely not an easy thing to pull off, man, but the same strategy applies. You get players who can serve you pretty well. You need good defenders, you need rim runners, and you need guys who can get rebounds. That's the main thing you need, because with the rim runners, those are going to be the guys who finish your fast breaks. Those are going to be the guys who score in transition after the opponent scores. So either way, they're going to serve you well, whether it be on the break or after you're inbounding the ball. You can rim run with them or you can finish the fast break with them. You need those guys. The rebounders are very important because when you're going up against teams like this, bro, and you're going up against Dwight Howard and LeBron, or I mean, maybe those guys are not the best rebounders, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bob Lanier, and you're going up against Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. Like, you need good good rebounders, because these guys are good rebounders. You want guys who are, your big men should be good in the post. They should be good rebounders. So good defenders and good rebounders. Enes Kanter, I wouldn't run him. This is just my current domination squad, so I'll get killed if I were to use this. But Bill Laimbeer is good, and obviously other players like that. And I remember I did make a video about that, so if you still didn't watch that video, you can watch that video. And I did just give you some suggestions just like a couple minutes ago. So definitely run those players that are good rebounders, good defenders, and you want to have good perimeter defenders who can also shoot the ball. You can get somebody like Doug Christie. He's another one. And then your point guard should be a rim runner. He doesn't have to be that good of a defender. The point guard doesn't need to be that good of a defender. If he is a good defender and he can rim run, that's a plus. Jason Kidd is probably the only card in the game that can rim run as well as being a great defender, from what I know. But he can't really dunk like that. So, but D Rose throws it on dudes, man. I'm telling you. All right. And you're probably saying, oh, can you play against the team so I can see? The same strategy applies. The same strategy applies. You're upgrading your team as you go, and you're making sure that you follow the strategy that I provided for you in the first game of that last game of current domination. You use that strategy. Your main focuses should be rim running and fast breaks and playing great defense. And I just broke down to you the kind of plays that you're going to need to do that. If you can successfully pull that off, you will get 3 stars every time. The multiplier, this is superstar difficulty, just like historic. The multiplier is going to lift you above what you need. And I've blown some of these teams out by 30, 20 plus, 10, whatever. And some of the teams I've had trouble with, I'm not going to lie. So it really is just a matter of how well I play throughout the game and the kind of players that I have. Now, the team I was running for all-time domination was similar to the team that I'm using right now. So if I go to my lineup management, it was looking like kind of like this without George Mikan. Once I got Nate Archibald, you're going to get Nate Archibald from completing half of the all-time domination, and he's going to help you out tremendously because he is 96 speed and can rim run. And he's basically the same as Gus Williams, though. But if you have Gus Williams and you have Nate Archibald, that you have a very good team, because that 96 speed takes you a long way, man. So yeah, Klay Thompson, I still have him on my team because he was a shooter and he could play defense. Sean Elliott was a great shooter for me. He's a decent defender too. He doesn't have clamps, but he's a decent defender. Rick Smith, I still use him because of his height. Richard Jefferson can shoot and play D. Orlando Blackman, I used him in all-time domination just to finish off fast breaks. That's mainly what he was doing. D Rose was just my main scorer, and then obviously my big man can get rebounds. I wasn't using George Mikan because I didn't have him. I was probably using let me see who was that. I think I was using like PJ Brown or Sam Perkins or one of those guys that I mentioned to you before. Also, guys, take advantage of your free agent cards. Do not use your free agent cards until you're getting to the last games of either historic domination or of all-time domination, because don't use them in current domination. And the reason I'm telling you this is because they only have 5 games where they could play. So I would recommend using them on the historic and the all-time domination games. Now, those last 3 games of historic and all-time are going to amount to 6 total, and you only have 5. So you kind of want to win on the first try, and also there's going to be 1 game where you're not going to be able to use your free agents. But if you do happen to get your free agents again, then obviously you can use them. But the free agents that I have, let me take a look. Allen Iverson, he's kind of whack though. On paper, he's good, but his 6 feet, his height really hinders him. He's got the 93 3-point shot. He can shoot the ball. He's got the 80 driving dunk. He's 88 perimeter defense, 98 steal. He has 98 speed with ball, so that's crazy. He's 18 Hall of Fame badge, 17 gold, but he wasn't really that effective with like when I used him. He does have clamps, interceptor. Yeah, he wasn't that effective for me, so I didn't really want to use him. But Zion Williamson was a lifesaver. I was playing him at the small forward, 6'6". He's got the 93 point shot, 84 mid-range. Driving layup is 95. Driving dunk is 99, literally. Perimeter defense, 84. Interior, 84. Good rebounder as well. 81 speed with ball. He's got range extender gold. He's got clamps gold, box, rebound chaser, quick first step. So use your free agents, man. I also have Kareem. I've never used this Kareem card, but had I did have him when I was doing domination, I definitely would have used him because he's great in the post, as you can see with the 98 post hook. And then his interior defense is good, his rebounding is good, and he's 7'2". So take advantage of your free agent cards when you are going up against those last historic domination teams and those last all-time domination teams, because they're going to help you, man. You're going to need those good players to really propel you over those teams. that's my strategy guide for domination, guys. I know this was kind of a long video, but I really wanted to break down to you exactly what you need in order to win these games, the kind of players that you need, the kind of gameplay that you want to run. Like, you don't need to make any adjustments really on the players, like within the coaching settings, if you don't want to, because I never did. But if you really want to, you can go in and put, like, on the coaching settings, you can put, like, for them to play tight on someone, or to smother, to deny them the ball if you really need to, if like a shooter is lighting you up or whatever. But I never really needed to do that. But I guess those can help you. I didn't go into in depth with those topics. But that's my strategy guide, guys. Good luck for your domination run, man. If this was helpful, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 40K. We're going to be dropping more snipe filter videos, strategies, tips and tricks videos, just entertaining videos in general for you guys to watch. So if you're new, make sure to hit that sub so you don't miss out on any of that. And yeah, with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.